special town meeting has been called for. At our last meeting, we did, I believe, come up with a way to deal with this. However, on the next day, 254 signatures were submitted to the Selectmen's office, and at that point, we had no choice. We have to call a special town meeting, which we're going to recommend in consultation with Marie and Town Clerk and Mr. Chapdelaine, that we hold that special town meeting on October 10th, 2012. Of the 254 signatures, 204 of them were actually certified. So that's enough, and therefore we have to call a special town meeting. I asked that Mr. Harrington, who presented the petition, be here tonight. I'd like to understand why he feels the need for this after the previous meeting. I believe this board, the landscapers, John Leone, moderator of town meeting, have all come to an agreement, but nonetheless, here's where we are. So to that end, we will call the special town meeting tonight, assuming I get that vote from this board. We don't have a choice and have to hold the town meeting within 45 days of those signatures being handed in and certified. I will be calling for a committee meeting, as we talked about, and I should call it a ad hoc committee or a work group. I need to correct my language there, but I want to be clear. I'm putting together a warrant article, and I've asked Mr. Chapdelaine, Ms. Conley, Ms. Mahan, 4 from the landscapers and 4 from town meeting, to work with me on the wording of that warrant article that will be placed in this special town meeting. So, and we'll be in touch with those. We're waiting to hear from John Leone in terms of his 4 appointments from town meeting. But we will hold that meeting, and I will have a warrant article ready. So first I need a motion to, right, I need a motion, or this is just Juliana?
Motion.
All right, so someone
Respect to the date.
Made the motion to call a special town meeting.
I move that we call a special town meeting for October 10th with the warrant to open and close on September 18th.
All right, so second, to open and close on September 18th.
Did I get that right? Oh, is it 2? Oh, it's separate motions? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's 2 different motions. Then I can just call the meeting for September 10th. Sorry. Pardon me. October 10th, special town meeting. Sorry.
To convene at 8 p.m.?
Sounds good.
Second. I'd rather 7. And that's moved and seconded. Discussion? Okay, Mr. Byrne?
If there was any way that I could vote against this, I certainly would. I find this to be a waste of town resources. And I think that your suggestion to reach a compromise through the work group was the right way to move forward with this. Nevertheless, here we are, and we have to move forward in this manner. There you go. Thank you.
I'm with you. I wish I could vote against it too, but we can't. Our hands are tied by the statute. And Mr. Harrington wants a special town meeting. So all those in favor, please signify by, sorry.
Sorry, I want to get my licks in here too. I agree with Mr. Byrne, and I'll say that, I would vote against this if I could, but the state law is clear, and so I'm obviously going to comply with that. This is a time that called for patience, and it's really unfortunate that we didn't have enough patience as a town. There's a time to talk about these things and get them right, and it's unfortunate this petition is short-circuiting that, enforcing and limiting the discussion and the time for discussion. I'm very frustrated and disappointed, but I'm going to do what I have to.
And I will just echo that, especially given all the hard work that went into, bringing various parties to the table to discuss this and to be able to have a deliberative process. It is unfortunate. It's especially unfortunate because we know that our staff have been very busy with an election last week, and not to mention the one in the middle of the summer, but an election last week, an election in November, Town Day, and so this just adds one more burden, which I know everyone will meet the challenge, but it's very unfortunate.
We've had a special election now. Mr. Harrington feels the need for the town to have a special town meeting. So, again, by statute, by state law, our hands are tied. So, all those in favor of calling a special town meeting while holding your nose, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Anybody opposed? Yes, but my vote is actually for the special town meeting. So now the next one, Mr. Dunn.
The warrant will open Tuesday, September 18th, 2012 at 8 a.m. and remain open until 4 p.m. So moved.
So is there a second?
Second.
But to that end, Maria, means I'd like to try and pull together a meeting for next Monday night with that committee because I have to meet with them before the warrant opens and closes, right? Or can I write up a warrant article with you, Juliana, that we could submit on the 18th, but we'll reword before we finalize the warrant, right? We have the final votes, right?
Right. I'll remind the chair that the warrant article itself is really nothing more than an agenda item, and where the real substance comes in is in the proposed vote, which I would be happy to assist the chair with, but that would not need to be done until shortly before the meeting.
Okay, so that's the way we'll do it. So Marie, forget the 17th, because with Town Day being Saturday the 15th, you've already had a long enough summer in our office, so.
I could talk to John Neal and set up a meeting for that week or whatever.
I'll talk to you, we'll figure out that week when to do it, but we'll do it later that week instead of the next Monday night, okay? Because by town council's excellent advice, I will, and help me this week to put in the warrant, and we'll work on the wording. So, that was moved, was that seconded? Discussion? All those in favor of opening and closing the warrant on September 18th, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now, as always, this board can put in warrant articles, but if somebody else wanted to put in a warrant article for a special town meeting, what's the rule?
Signatures.
Okay, so they would have to submit it with 100 certified signatures for any other warrant articles, in case there were any out there that need to be. I mean, Mr. Chapdelaine might have one or two, which we will, since we're holding a special town meeting, things that maybe could have waited for the spring, we will now probably put them in there as well. Okay, so no correspondence.